So we have an extra Saturday segment here today before we do our live stream tonight on the Transformers Slag podcast. Be sure to tune in for that 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. But big news today, we have even more listings giving us more information about our future Transformers Legacy 2024 product line, this Transformers Legacy UNI, as we know it as. Back in December of 2022, last year, we first learned about this listing of Transformers UNI. We didn't know what it stands for. It stands for maybe Unicron, Universe, United. We don't know. But we do know that 2024 is going to be the 40th anniversary of Transformers and a big celebration of the 40 years of this brand. So it's going to be a lot of different things. And we got new listings here today that really give us a good direction of what's going on here, as well as we're going to go over just quickly what other stuff we know for 2024 with this Transformers UNI Legacy line. So let's jump into what we have here today. We have a bunch of listings, and the first one we got here is a Transformers Legacy UNI Deluxe Class Generation 1 Optimus Prime. Again, this goes into the fact that this is going to be the 40th anniversary. They're probably going to want to have some, Deluxe is the bread and butter of Transformers, in my opinion. And having a Deluxe class Optimus Prime, a bare bones G1 Optimus Prime, to throw back to those early beginnings of this entire legacy of this line that we have, just kind of makes sense. I imagine it just being the base Optimus Prime Generation 1 design, no trailer, just the front end. Maybe it's going to come with his Ion Blaster gun, a Energon Axe Hand accessory, and a Matrix of Leadership. Keep it simple, but something to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the line. Put the big 40th anniversary of Transformers right there on the box, and you're good to go for a Deluxe Optimus Prime. Then we have here a Voyager class Cybertron Vector Prime. So also celebrating in a lot of ways the Transformers Cybertron or Galaxy Force line. Vector Prime is one of those iconic characters, one of the original 13, technically outside of the Fallen, one of the very first original 13 characters to get a toy, if you don't count Optimus Prime with the 13th and all that silliness. But this is pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. Now, the thing is that the original Vector Prime toy from Galaxy Force Cybertron was kind of in that, I guess we'll call it the mega scale back then. It was what Voyagers were back in the day. But what Voyagers are back in the day, or what mega scales were back in the day, is kind of what our modern leader class toys are here today. So he might be a little smaller. I don't know if the paint, budget that we have today would be equal to that. But I am really curious to see what that Aaron Archer classic design will look like here today. It's probably not going to have a Force Chip accessory. It's probably not going to have his Minicon, but I am curious how a modern interpretation of this original character could be. Maybe it could be a more skewed to the original 13 ancient Cybertron kind of look as opposed to his Galaxy Force Cybertron look. Who knows, but I am very curious to see how they tackle it, and that's pretty cool. Here's one that's kind of not a big surprise, but a Legacy UNI Armada Galvatron. That's clearly just going to take our leader class Legacy Evolution Armada Megatron that we have and give it the Galvatron color scheme. Is it going to have maybe a brand new face sculpt, maybe a different kind of facial expression just to mix it up a little bit, maybe a new weapon or blast accessory? We don't know. It would be nice if it came with his Minicon, but we will see. We will see what happens with that. But that's one that's probably not a big surprise to a lot of people. Then we have a Transformers BB, which will stand for Buzzworthy Bumblebee, Generations Legacy UNI Voyager Class Origin Wheeljack. So it was just a matter of time before we get to our next Origin, More to Meets the Eye Part 1, G1 Episode 1 reveal. In a lot of ways, one thing that's very important is Wheeljack was the very first Transformer we ever saw on screen in Transformers. That very first scene, the great moves, and then Wheeljack steps out in his origin design, technically just, the robot mode that we would always see, but he would transform into his Cybertronian design afterwards, and we're going to be getting an origin version of that to now go with your Bumblebee, and of course, more importantly, the recent Jazz that we got. He's going to be a Voyager class, which I'm pretty sure the choice for that is they want to make him so that when he is in robot mode, he's a little taller than the Bumblebee one we've already gotten through Buzzworthy. And also maybe even more importantly, that if he's a Voyager class, maybe that Bumblebee version could actually fit inside the back of him, like in his trunk, like he did in the show. That might be an intention too. We'll see what happens, but I'm very excited to see this one and finally kind of continue this origin line and having these Cybertronian versions of these characters. Next up is two really exciting listings because it tells us what our possible next modulators will be. So back in February of 2023, we had listings with Transformers Legacy UNI, but they were just listed as Rock 1, Rock 2. Some of them were Deluxe. One of them was Core Class. And we didn't know what it was. Rock could be anything. Some people were speculating, oh, maybe it might be Rock Lords from GoBot's history. Well, we're starting to look more like it's going to probably be that because we have one Core Class today and one Deluxe Class of these Rock listings. And we have Core Class, Boldercrash, and Deluxe Class, Magneous. So we're having something that's probably leaning more into that Rock Lord history, which is pretty cool to get some Transformer rocks. And they're probably going to be our modulators. It's probably going to have detaching pieces because when you have this kind of rock theme, then you have kind of a similar kind of theme also of an aesthetic, and thus you could have those modulators that can mix and match, and it works well, and it's not too much of a clash of colors. We had that just this year with our Junkions, and we had that before that, even that with the Bone Age inspired kind of stuff with Kingdom. So it's very cool. It's very cool that we're going with Rock Lords. As a big GoBots fan myself, it's very interesting that can go in that route. Obviously, they can't use some of those GoBot names because a lot of those trademarks are long gone, but it would have been nice to kind of get Boulder and Marble and Nugget in some of those. But I'm pretty sure we're going to get stuff that's very Boulder and Marble and Nugget inspired, Sticks and Stones and all of those. So it'll be pretty cool, but this is really awesome that we now have more of a confirmation of that this is more or less what we're going to be getting. And I'm going to post on the screen, and I apologize for the people who listen to the podcast just in an audio format, but I'm going to post on the screen also everything else, including what we talked about today, that we know for the 2024 lineup. This isn't everything. This is just pretty much early 2024, maybe wave 1 and 2 of this celebration of the 40th anniversary of the brand. And we see a lot of other stuff. We see, like, for the Core Class, we see Energon Megatron, Core Class Tasmanian Kid, which is Snarl from Beast Wars. The Deluxe stuff, we have a whole bunch of cool stuff like Gears and Sure Shot and Animated Bumblebee and Rescue Bots Chase and 2 Cyberverse characters and Windblade and Chromia. And again, another Rock Lord kind of rock thing for Deluxes that we don't know about yet, that doesn't have a name yet. For the Voyager class, like we said, the Vector Primes can now be joined by a Cybertron Starscream. So going with that more interesting, almost Tetrajet kind of design. Maybe he'll come with a crown even. Beast Wars Silverbolt. Finally, we're getting into some fusers. Animated Optimus Prime. Again, more animated. Transformers Prime Thundertron. Some of those more, novel exclusive kind of characters from the Transformers Prime continuity. In the leader classes, we're finally getting Sandstorm. Triple Changer Sandstorm joining the crew. Beast Wars Tigerhawk. Another great, addition from the Beast Wars era. And of course, we talked about it. We saw little images of it in the past, but that G2 Grimlock is probably going to be the Toxitron collection one that we saw. And then a possible package refresh, maybe a slight repaint to make it even more show accurate, but a package refresh of the Earthrise Optimus Prime to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Transformers with a classic Optimus for everyone to buy outside of that Deluxe one we just talked about. Pretty cool stuff. I'm very excited about all of this. And again, guys, tonight we have the Transformers Slag podcast Saturday night live stream. Be sure to tune in for that because we have a whole bunch of other Transformer news we have to discuss. A lot of cool things here and there. We're going to kind of cover on this also a little bit briefly again so we can hear what the fans have to think about it and what they're excited about. So be sure to tune in tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. if you're on the West Coast. Be sure to check it all out, yo. We'll talk again real soon tonight. Take care, and I'll see you later.